Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. God, Hare Bol. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Gauranga, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय।
So before Prabhu starts, I would like to kind of give some brief introduction about His Grace Bihari Prabhu. A lot of us know Prabhu very well, but those who do not know, for them, Bihari Prabhu is a spiritual teacher, author and full-time monk at Sri Sri Radha Gopinath Mandir, ISKCON Chapati, where he has been serving for past 2.5 decades. He holds a master's degree in monetary policy and international finance, as well as a major degree in economics. He has a wealth of experience in the corporate world, having worked with multinational companies like KPMG, Pete Marwick, and ICICI Bank after completing. Yeah, so Prabhuji has worked in a lot of different multinational companies like KPMG, Pete Marwick, and ICICI Bank after completing his MBA in finance. He is also a member of Temple Care Committee and Congregation Development in ISKCON Chapati, where he provides counseling to young men in the monastery and trains a satellite committee of over 100 plus families in various parts of Mumbai. He is also a seasoned international speaker, having traveled and spoken in the USA, Australia, UK, Germany, Russia, and other parts of Europe and Middle East. His candid thoughts on the mental hygiene, spiritual discipline, and finding deep emotional fulfillment resonate with people from all walks of life. His lucid and cheerful talks harmonize wisdom from the Vedic era to enhance modern lives. So please welcome His Grace Bihari Prabhu with a big Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
Thank you. Thank you for your kind words, Prabhu. Thank you for welcoming me. Today we'll discuss from Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudhiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Namo Pankaja Nabhaya Namo Pankaja Maline Namo Pankaja Netraya Namaste Pankajangre Om Ajnanatirmirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatkripatamaham Vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Mishwaram Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Yonta Pravishya Mama Vachamimam Prasuptan Sanjivayata Kila Shakti Dhara Swadhamna Anyamscha Hasta Charana Shravana Tvagadin Pranam Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam Katanchana Smrite Yasmin Duskaram Sukaram Bhavet Vismrite Viparitam Syat Sri Chaitanya Namamitam. Hare Krishna. Welcome and thank you for wanting to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. This is a very important scripture. Srimad Bhagavatam will give us shelter, relief, happiness. And last, we are doing 3-part series, Experience Love. Today we'll discuss one particular pastime, because there are many lessons, life lessons from Srimad Bhagavatam. And yesterday we discussed how it's not simply one class that we hear that we get answers for our questions. It's the culture of hearing, it's the culture, the practice. Every day when we hear, when we have a culture of chanting, coming together, then over a period of time we get answers to our questions. We gave the example. Anybody remember the example I gave for this? I know 24 hours is too much to remember. Army warriors, yes, they study in the army school about different battles, but when they go to fight, they don't implement what they studied as it is. They improvise based on how their intuition develops. And what they do in that battle becomes part of the next study, right? So like this, so there are many, many life lessons. So So Srimad Bhagavatam, is like a sugar candy. Sugar candy, anywhere you bite, it's sweet. Similarly, Srimad Bhagavatam, study, any canto you study, you will get Krishna. Although we study systematically from first canto, but still Bhagavatam is nectar. And I know at least 2 devotees. I can't tell their names because obviously, but both of them went through extreme difficulty in their life. Like one person was, I remember him, in 2011 he was on the verge of suicide, extreme depression. Very close friend of mine, and he took shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. And he would read every day. He would cry in pain because of whatever issues he was going through in family. But he didn't leave Bhagavatam. And today, I'm talking about 2011, 2012, when he was in that extreme depression, was going mad. Today, 2025 is one of the most successful preachers in our Radha Gopinath Mandir community. Every year they have in January a big Maha Pandal program where he installs 108 Gaur Nitai deities. 108 families take up deity worship every year, minimum. Huge community. And we sometimes take lunch together and we laugh and we express gratitude to Krishna for having pulled him through this crisis. There is another devotee who all of you know very well. I'll tell his name. He is my favorite, one of my favorites, very pure, very innocent, Gauranga Darshan Prabhu. Do you know him? Yeah. So when he joined, he's also Telugu. Very sweet, very pure, extremely devotional. So after he joined the ashram, I remember as a young boy he had extreme back pain and intense health issues. So practically was on the bed all the time, lying on the bed. So what he would do in that pain? What we would do, we would cry, watch YouTube reels for pleasure. What he did, read Bhagavatam. So for 3-4 years, in extreme sickness and pain, he took complete shelter of Bhagavatam. Morning, afternoon, night, only Bhagavatam, Bhagavatam, Bhagavatam. Internalized Bhagavatam. So today what is coming out? Bhagavatam. And is transforming thousands of lives. So this is the power of Srimad. Now please, I want to clarify, this does not mean you don't go to medical practitioners, you don't go to psychologists. Do whatever is needed to be done. This doesn't mean this is a substitute for medical help. I'm just saying, this also you include in your treatment. Our acharyas have explained, Sanatana Goswami has said, Madeka bandhu madsangi madguru madmahadana madnistaraka madbhagya madananda namostute. My best friend, Sanatana Goswami says, Madeka bandhu is Srimad Bhagavatam. Madeka bandhu madsangi, my associate is Bhagavatam. Madguru, my guru, Srimad Bhagavatam is my guru. Madmahadhana, my greatest wealth is Srimad Bhagavatam. Madnistaraka, my deliverer is Bhagavatam. Madbhagya, my greatest fortune is I got Bhagavatam. Madananda namostute, my greatest source of happiness is Srimad Bhagavatam. So our acharyas, our saints in the past were not fools. They knew what they were saying. They gave us this amazing gift. So even if you don't understand, just keep reading Bhagavatam. And just practice reading, hearing, discussing. Just like you take medicines, keep taking this medicine. And one day suddenly you will realize, wow, this is a very sweet. This is like sweet rice, kheer. This is like your cheesecake. This is a sweet. This is not bitter medicine. Nivrtatarshe rupagiya manat bhavau shadashotra mano bhirama. Gautama shloka gunanuvada puman virajyeta vina pashugnat. Shukdev Goswami tells Parikshit Maharaj that all that hankering and burning of the heart will go away. when we glorify Krishna as given in Bhagavatam. And this is the Aushadhi. Bhava Aushada Shotra Mano Birama. This is the medicine. Generally, when we take medicine, it is bitter. But Bhagavatam is a very special medicine. This is a medicine. In Ayurveda, medicines are bitter. But this is a special medicine. When we take Bhagavatam, this cures us, but also Manovirama. This also gives us happiness. Kauttama Shloka Gunanuvada. So glorify the Lord to the Bhagavatam. Puman Virajyeta Vina Pashugnat. Only a killer of the soul, only somebody who is crazy will refuse Bhagavatam. So like this, I'm just picking up randomly first canto. See if this helps you. Great. Otherwise, think that one evening you have spent investing in some process which will give you benefits eventually. So this is 18th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, of first canto. Parikshit Maharaj is going to be cursed by a Brahmana boy. It's a very, very special pastime. So I want to give you a background today. Maybe next year we'll discuss more detail. So what happened when the Bhagavatam discussions began in Naimisharanya? The sages asked few questions to Sutta Goswami. What happened after Krishna left this world? Please tell us qualities of Parikshit Maharaj. Please tell us who is Sukadeva Goswami. What happened when Kali Yuga advented? Like that they asked 6 questions. And the sages' questions were answered by Sutta Goswami. And by the end of 17 chapters, all the 6 questions were answered. So ideally, Bhagavatam should have been over. First canto, 17 chapters, Bhagavatam should be over because they asked questions and the questions' answers was given. But something interesting happens after these questions are answered. Sutta Goswami explains something which I want to reveal to you. So now Sutta Goswami is saying, after having answered all the questions, okay? What does Sutta Goswami say? He says, let us always glorify Krishna because this is the essence of his presentation. That Krishna consciousness is the only solution. I've answered your questions. So class is over and now Mahaprasade Govinde. Let us have. But just before ending he says, Upavarnitam etadva punyam parikshitam maya vasudeva katopetam akhyanamet apruchhata. Well, you asked me Upavarnitam. I've explained everything you asked me. And I described about Parikshit Maharaj also, Vasudeva also, Vasudeva katopetam akhyanamet apruchhata. You asked me, I answered, class is over. And please remember, Parikshit Maharaj is a very good person. I spoke about him. What is his speciality? Nanudveshte kalim samrat saranga iva sarabhuk kushalanashu siddhanti netarani kritaniyat. He was so expert that he was like a bee. There is a difference between the bumblebee and the fly. Anybody knows? What is the difference between a bee and a fly?
Go to the filthy places.
You want to answer? Bee stings, yes. But what is the difference between, there is something very, very nice difference between bee and a fly. Honey. What else?
Fly on dirt.
Fly? On dirt. Fly on dirt.
That means it goes
On.
food is in dirt.
Yes.
Where is the food is the honey. This is the honey.
Yes.
This is the nectar.
So if there is a place filled with garbage, but there is somewhere some nectar in some flower, the bee will only go there. And if there is a beautiful garden, but there is some place in that garden which is dirty, the fly will only go to that dirty place. The fly will ignore all the good and only go to the bad part. Whereas the bee will ignore all the bad and go only to the good place. So Parikshit Maharaj is called as Saranga. He is called as the bee. So in our social interactions, what do we do? What do you do when you interact with others? Do you see a small fault and magnify it? Who is a bee here? Parikshit Maharaj. He saw a lot of faults, but he saw only one good thing and picked up that good thing in Kali. Whereas Shringi, he saw that Parikshit Maharaj is full of good qualities, but he chose only one small fault. So Sutta Goswami is saying Parikshit Maharaj is the best king. He is like a bee. He has done very good service. He was a great king. And now I have completed the class. Hari Bol. So after he is completed, now the rishis are going to explain. Now there is vote of thanks we give. Thank you for the class. Thank you for coming. We say like that. So there is a vote of thanks now being given after this presentation. First we just say thank you. So first canto, 18th chapter is going on. Ideally the Bhagavatam should have been over now, but we know Bhagavatam went on for 7 days and 7 nights. This is the first day going on. And he's completed his class. But rishis say, thank you for giving us a great class. And what do they say? Suta jiva sama soumya shashvatim vishadamesha yastvam shamsasi krishnasya martyanam amritam hina. Oh, may you live long years. Suta jiva sama soumya shashvati vishadamesha. May your fame and glory spread everywhere. You gave us Krishna. You spoke about Krishna. Thank you for those who are dying. Martyanam amritam hina. Glorification of Krishna is like nectar for all of us because we are all dying. See, anybody here who is not dying? We are all dying. Dying, dying, gone. Death. The moment we are born, we have begun our journey to death. So for us, Krishna Katha is that elixir, that doorway which opens to an eternal life. If we connect with Krishna, then we ensure that we don't go into the cycle of repeated birth and death again. This is repeatedly promised in the Bhagavad Gita by Krishna. So the rishis are thanking Sutta Goswami. Please know the context. First, the discussions began with what? The whole Bhagavatam began with what? Questions. Who asked questions? The sages asked whom? Sutta Goswami. How many questions they asked? 6. And after answering all the questions which came up to how many chapters of the first canto? 17 chapters. So after answering all of that, what did Parikshit Maharaj say? The class is over. Thank you. And now the rishis are saying, thank you for giving us nectar. Because Krishna Katha is shelter. See, Krishna is the factor which, if we hear attentively, if we are present, if you keep your office, home, problems aside, just be present, then the word Krishna and Krishna's pastimes will transport us to eternity. And that's what they are saying. And then the sages tell Sutta Goswami, before you came and started Krishna Katha, we were doing yajna for world peace. Lot of yajna, we were, yajna, fire sacrifice. And what did we get after doing that fire sacrifice? What do you think comes out of fire sacrifice? Listen to what they have to say. You can repeat this verse after me. Karmannasmin anashvase Dhuma dhumamritam bhavan Apayati Govinda Pada Padma Savam Madhu. All these yajna we were doing, Karmannasmin anashvase, only came, what came out? Dhuma dhuma amritambam, smoke and more smoke and more smoke. Fire sacrifice created only smoke. But what did you do in the last so many hours? Apayeti Govinda, you glorified Govinda. Pada Padma Savam Madhu, and you gave us the nectar of Krishna Katha. And that has completely satisfied our heart. See, if you see genuine devotees, for them, this is real nectar. You give them Krishna, they are completely satisfied. You glorify and talk about Krishna, they will be happy. I had this experience when I joined the ashram. I want to share that with you. I was a young brahmachari and we had a special guest in our temple. All of you know His Holiness Srila Satchinandana Swami Maharaj, one of the senior most leaders in our movement. So he had come to our temple and I was in the guest reception department. My service was to take care of visiting guests, give them prasadam, wash their clothes, take them out for programs. That was what I did for many years when I joined. So he was a sannyasi, a visiting guest, and one day in the night after serving him milk, everything, and I put a mosquito net for him and he was about to sleep, I said, Maharaj, thank you for giving me an opportunity to serve you today. I hope everything is okay. You need anything? Shall I go now? Maharaj said, no, you can't go. I said, okay Maharaj, anything you need? Yes. I don't leave anyone without giving them Krishna. I will give you Krishna. I said, wow, there's going to be some mystical thing happening now. What is going to happen? So I just stood there. He said, sit down, I'll give you Krishna. So I sat like you are sitting. So he sat on his bed. He took a deep breath and then closed his eyes, then opened his eyes and then said, one day, a wicked demoness called Putana entered Vrindavan. And then he began to speak Putana's story. For the next 10 minutes, he described in great detail how she entered Vrindavan, how she tried to kill Krishna, and how Krishna delivered her and gave her the position of nurse in the spiritual world. And he completed the whole pastime, and I was listening, I was enjoying. For me, it was a Bhagavatam class. So after the class was over, he drank some water and he was smiling. So I understood, oh, what he meant was, I'll give you Krishna. He meant, I'll give you Krishna Katha. So I was very grateful. So I was leaving, I said, thank you Maharaj. Thank you for your wonderful time. Thank you for this mercy. So as I was leaving, he said, no, you can't go. I said, Maharaj, you gave me Krishna, I'm leaving now. He said, no, I gave you Krishna. Now you give me Krishna. I said, excuse me? He said, yes, you have to give me Krishna. And he sat down. I said, now, give me Krishna. And I was confused, but then I remembered something from the Bhagavatam classes, last few days, devotees had spoken. So whatever little I remembered, I spoke for I think 5 minutes. And Maharaj during the entire time was just like you are sitting and hearing. You are sitting like this and hearing. Although I am like a new bhakta, but he was hearing sincerely. Today when Mataji was giving Bhagavatam class in the temple, and Hanumanta Preksha Swami Maharaj, he is a sannyasi, he's been there in the movement, he's 77 years old, and a young Mataji is giving class, normal Bhagavatam class, and he's sitting in the class in the front row. And he's enjoying the class, he's relishing Krishna Katha. This is our movement. We are not into fire sacrifice and creating smoke and more smoke. Dhuma dhuma amritam bhavan. What we want to give and take, apayati Govinda padma padma savam madhu. There is nectar in Krishna's Katha, Krishna's lotus feet. So we want to glorify Krishna all the time, because that is where nectar is. And that is what pure devotees will always glorify Krishna. We should never miss that association. And therefore, the sages understand this. See, they are fearing what? That Sutta Goswami has finished his class. Now there will be Mahaprasad, everybody will leave. See, they are like saying, no, see, before you came, we were doing sacrifice and creating smoke. But you came and gave us real nectar. And we are convinced. Then they say something very beautiful. Please repeat this verse. Tulayama lave napi na swargam na punarbhavam Bhagavat sangi sangasya martyanam kimutashisha. They are saying, oh Sutta Goswami, you say the class is over? But lavenapi, one moment of association with the pure devotee. Tulayama lavenapi, naswargam na punarbhavam. You cannot equal heavenly residence or liberation with that one moment of association with advanced devotees. Bhagavat Sangi Sangasya, association of devotees is the greatest gift. Martya Nam Ki Mutashisha, for those who are dying, they don't need anything else except the association of devotees, because these devotees will glorify Krishna. This is their verdict. This is what they are saying. Thank you, O Sutta Goswami. And now they come, what is their main agenda? Can you imagine? Can you guess what is the agenda of these sages? They don't want him to stop the class. But they don't want to directly say, oh, once you finish it, they don't want to tell him that just continue. They are first glorifying him, thanking him for what he has given us so far. Then saying that before you came, we were only creating smoke. But you came and made our lives auspicious. And one moment of association of pure devotees is so good. Indirectly, they are saying, your association is so good. And then now they are coming to the main point. Oh, Sutta Goswami, you are saying class is over? How can you say that? Because ko nama tripyed rasavid kathayam mahatamekanta parayanasya nantam gunanam agunasya jagmur yogeshwaraye bhavapadma mukhya. They are saying, oh Sutta Goswami, you are saying you are satisfied, you have completed. Ko nama tripyed. How can anyone be satisfied after speaking Krishna Katha? He will become greedy to speak more. Because rasavit katayam, because you are relishing Krishna Katha. Somebody is enjoying and relishing Krishna Katha. How can he say I am satisfied? Ko nama tripyed rasavit kathayam. And the best part is Mahatamekanta Parayanasya. And Krishna is the ultimate shelter for all devotees. And you are the greatest devotee. So how can you say you are satisfied, you are done with? And the best part is, you are saying you have completed Krishna Katha. How can you say you completed Krishna Katha when Krishna is unlimited? Nantam gunanam agunasya jagmur. Krishna's qualities can never get over. So how can your class get over? And there are two problems with Krishna Katha. One is Krishna's qualities never get over. Secondly, Yogeshwaraye Bhavapadma Mukhya. Brahmaji and Shiva, they are never able to complete glorification of Krishna. So you are able to complete glorification of Krishna. If Brahmaji and Shiva cannot do, how can you do? And secondly, Krishna's qualities can never get over. So please reconsider. Please reconsider your proposal that the class is over. We are not in a hurry. And finally they beg him. And what do they tell him? Tanno bhavan vai bhagavat pradano mahatamekanta parayanasya hare rudaram charitam vishuddham shushrushatam no vitanoti vidvan. They are saying, oh Sutta Goswami, who are you? And who are we? You are Tanno Bhavan Vai Bhagavat Pradano. You are Bhagavat Pradan. You are the one who can give Krishna. And who are we? Shushrushatam. We are the ones who are eager to receive Krishna. What a combination. You are eager to give Krishna. We are eager to receive Krishna. If we come together, what will happen? Krishna will appear. Tanno Bhavan Vai Bhagavat Pradano Mahatamekanta Parayanasya. And Krishna is eager to come. Look at the best part. Hare Rudaram Charitam Vishuddham. Krishna is eager to come. You are eager to give and we are eager to hear. Why should we stop Krishna from appearing? Srila Prabhupada says, the husband is potent, the wife is fertile. If they come together, what happens? The child is born. Similarly, the speaker is potent. He wants to give Krishna. He is carrying Krishna in his or her heart. And the hearer is open to receive Krishna. Their combination will give rise to Krishna appearing in that assembly. Krishna will appear in that assembly. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada emphasized, never compromise on glorification of Krishna. Don't be scared, don't be shy, don't think what will people think. I've seen my personal experience last 27 years of preaching. I give a lot of secular presentations on breathing, journaling, all that, techniques, on awareness, separating yourself from the mind. All that techniques I share. How you are not the mind, and all those different fancy techniques, workshops. People listen attentively. But the moment I start speaking about Krishna directly, whenever I've done that, Krishna, the moment I say Krishna, I see in the audience, see, you cannot see each other. You are looking at the speaker. But I see everyone. The moment I glorify Krishna, I see a smile come in the face of all the audience. There is something about Krishna which, because your soul, the real you, is hankering to be reunited with Krishna and you are not aware. But when you hear Krishna, something happens in you and you start smiling and you don't realize you are smiling. So Krishna is magical. When Srila Prabhupada was preaching in India, he had taken his initial disciples with him. Shyam Sundar and Malti were one of the initial disciples. They had a daughter named Saraswati. Saraswati was a 3-year-old girl. 3-year-old girl. And Srila Prabhupada had given her a big doll of Krishna. She would play with that doll all the time. One day Srila Prabhupada stole that Krishna doll and kept it behind him. And Saraswati was running around looking for Krishna. So she kept telling everyone, where is Krishna? Have you seen Krishna? She would ask her mother, have you seen Krishna? She would say, no. Krishna, where is Krishna? She was just desperate for her Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada kept looking at her and everybody looking at that girl. And Srila Prabhupada said, see, she's teaching us how to hanker for Krishna. And she kept looking everywhere. Krishna, Krishna. And Prabhupada is just looking at her and experiencing great joy. He said, she's teaching us how to cry for Krishna, how to hanker for Krishna. And then because she couldn't find Krishna, she was desperate and she started crying. And still Prabhupada did not give her. And then Malti, Saraswati's mother, told Saraswati, Saraswati, who in this room has Krishna? And then something happened in her brain. She understood, Prabhupada, he has Krishna. So she came running to Prabhupada, she held him. She said, give me Krishna, give me Krishna. And then Prabhupada removed the doll from behind and gave it to her. And then she ran with Krishna. So then Srila Prabhupada said, she is a small girl, 3-year-old girl, but she's teaching us how we should all hanker for Krishna. We have been separated from Krishna for many, many lifetimes. Now we have a chance to get reunited with Krishna. Therefore, Bhakti Yoga is a beautiful process where we go to Krishna whether we are happy or whether we are sad. At all times we go and we re-establish our relationship. Jagata Karana Tumi Jagata Jivana Tum Chhada Koronai He Radharaman. Vaishnavas pray that you are the cause of everything. You are the Supreme Lord. If we give you up, we have no hope. But there is something more intense than that. And that is, we giving you up, that is disastrous. But something more disastrous is Bhuvana Mangala Tumi Bhuvanerapati Tume Upakhile Nata Ki Hoi Begati. If you ignore us, what will happen? Fortunately, Krishna doesn't ignore us. Krishna is always ready to welcome us back. Krishna is very kind. So we have to get back to Krishna. Now, today. Even if you have chanted badly yesterday, today you have chanted badly. This one mantra you can chant attentively. We can always come back to Krishna now. And Bhagavatam is filled with methods, filled with techniques. So we should never give up Srimad Bhagavatam for anything else. And What Bhagavatam teaches us is the attitude, the mood in which, if you see Parikshit Maharaj, the way he approached the sages, because after all this petition by the sages, Sutta Goswami starts explaining Parikshit Maharaj being cursed by Shringi. And then he starts explaining Parikshit Maharaj's internal mood which qualified him to get Krishna. See, we don't get Krishna simply by hearing and chanting. There is something deeper. Somebody can keep hearing, chanting, but still be very envious. There is the right attitude needed. So there are few things we need to have. And the most important is what is seen in the Parikshit Maharaj's mood. So for those, I'm just going fast forward. You know, Parikshit Maharaj made one small mistake. Actually, it's not a mistake, but externally it's a mistake. He was hungry, thirsty, tired, and he went to Shamik Rishi's ashram for water. And Shamik Rishi was absorbed in meditation. Parikshit Maharaj felt very offended that he is ignoring me, I'm the king of the planet. So in that momentary weakness, he picked up a dead snake and put it on the neck of Shamik Rishi. Oh, you are pretending you are not welcoming me. So he put a garland of dead snake on his neck and he left. But Parikshit Maharaj lamented and he regretted having done that. And Shamik Rishi also did not take that offense seriously. He realized the king was tired, so it was over. But Shamik Rishi's son, he got offended. He said, how dare the king insult my father? So he cursed that the king will die in 7 days. He will be bit by a serpent. So when the king got to know about the curse, he did not retaliate. He accepted and he said, I deserve this curse because I have offended. So Srila Prabhupada writes there that this is a sign of a good devotee. See, it's not that good devotee is not someone who never makes a mistake. We are fallible, we are humans, we will make mistakes. रास्ता कितना भी साफ हो, धूल तो लग जाती है. इंसान कितना भी अच्छा हो, भूल तो हो जाती है. So mistakes happen. But what is important is Shringi overlooked all the good qualities of Parikshit and focused on that one small mistake and cursed him. Parikshit Maharaj was a good king. And what happens is when he is cursed, he reveals the attitude we need to have for facing these kind of setbacks in life. So he renounces his entire kingdom and he goes to the forest and absorbs himself in Krishna. At that time, the message spreads everywhere that the king is going to renounce and king is going to take shelter of Krishna. So sages from all over the world come to see Parikshit Maharaj. Wow! The news spreads very fast. They all come to see Parikshit. Tatropa jagmur bhuvanam punana mahattamanu grahaniya shila Ragyam kulam brahmana pada shauchad durad srishtad batagarya karma. So all these great sages come and Parikshit Maharaj tells them, oh, you have not come, see, they came because they were honored, they were like, wow, Parikshit Maharaj is a great king. But Parikshit Maharaj says, no, you have not come for me, you have come because you want to respect my grandfather Arjuna. I am ordinary, I am like a person. You know, in the Indian houses during those days, the toilets were outside the house, the bathroom was outside. So you have to wash your feet outside the house and then enter the house. So he said, I am like a place where you wash your feet before you enter the house. I am insignificant. But you are respecting me. This is his mood. But Parikshit Maharaj is not acknowledging the fact that sages from all over the planetary systems have come to see him. Anyecha devarshi brahmarishi varya rajarshi varya arunadayascha nana shreya pravaran sametan abhyarcha raja shirasava vande. He offered full dandavat to all these great sages who came from so many planets to take darshan of Parikshit Maharaj. But he is not getting carried away that, oh, they have come to see me. No, I am ordinary. And this is the mood in which he approaches them. He takes shelter of them. So this is why he attracted Krishna's mercy. We can't just say that, okay, I will do hearing, I will chant my rounds. No, the attitude is not right. We will be Shringi. Shringi had a lot of powers. He was a 16-year-old boy. But with all that powers, what did he do? He cursed the pure devotee of Krishna. Like I've met devotees who say, Prabhuji, I don't want any name, fame, position. I am very simple, Prabhuji. I just want to be servant, Prabhuji. I am very humble, He even say I am very humble. He says, I just want to be servant. I don't want any name, fame, glory. But look at that devotee, Prabhuji. What he's doing is not right. He just wants name and fame. He wants honor. Very bad. He's doing a lot of politics, Prabhuji. That's why I cannot respect him. Do you see the irony here? The devotee doesn't even realize what he's saying. What does he say? Two contradictory things. I am nobody. I am servant. And also saying, I can't respect him. You can't respect another devotee. And you are saying, I don't want anything. It happens. That's how the mind can trick us. Like I know one of my very close friends, the devotee, has been with me in the movement for 27, 28 years. And he preaches very beautifully. So 3 other devotees became very disturbed by his preaching. So they wrote a letter to the ISKCON's top body saying that this Prabhuji is a deviant. So that ISKCON's top body, the governing body commission, they appointed a subcommittee to investigate this Prabhuji's preaching. And the subcommittee gave a report saying that he is good, bona fide, excellent. But those 3 devotees got very disturbed. How can you give him a clean chit? So they wrote a letter to that Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept our humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. You are a deviant. So you are right now in America, please stay in America. If you come back to India, that will be the last day of your life. We warn you. Because you are not representing Prabhupada properly. And the letter ends with, your humble servants. So when he forwarded that letter to me, I didn't know whether I should laugh or cry. So how the mind can cheat us, so it's crazy. We have to be careful. I'm speaking about others, but I am also victim of this. I may think I'm a great preacher, I'm giving all this knowledge, but how the mind can trick us. Therefore, Bhagavatam, it's not simply hearing chanting, the attitude, the mood has to be right. So our Rupa Goswami gives the example of the plant, the seed. So love for Krishna is like a seed. The seed is planted. No, you can't plant the seed here on this floor. The soil has to be fertile. Okay? And then when you plant the seed there, then what you do? You put water. So the seed starts growing. Then what you do? You make a fence so that the birds, goats and animals don't come and eat that small plant. And once you make the fence, once you have nice soil, once you water, then you also get scissors and cut the weeds. Otherwise the weeds will throttle the plant. And then after all of this, you wait for the sunlight to fall and allow the plant to grow. Similarly, the Guru Krishna Prasade Paye Bhakti Lata Bij, the Guru plants the seed of Bhakti in our heart. Then our first job is hearing and chanting. What we are doing right now, what are we doing? We are planting the seed of Bhakti. We are watering. We are not planting, we are watering the seed of Bhakti. Guru has planted the seed. We are watering. Every day, but that watering is useless if the soil is not fertile. That soil has to, and the soil is, we are compared to our gratitude, appreciation, humility, respect. All that is the soil. Once the soil is good, then hearing, chanting is there. And then we have to create good association, which is like the fence which protects that plant from the animals. So we have to create a good association fence. Nice Sangha. And that is also not sufficient. We have to, each one of us, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, we have to become an expert gardener. Like a gardener removes the weeds from throttling the plant, we have to check our wrong tendencies, envy. We have to do serious, honest introspection. We have to be brutally honest. Am I envious? Do I feel happy when others are doing well, or do I feel insecure? And we have to cut those weeds. And then after all of this, we have to wait for the sunlight of Krishna's causeless mercy. So what is the first step? The Guru plants the seed of bhakti. Then, water means hearing and chanting. And then, soil means gratitude, humility, respect. And then, fence is compared to association of good devotees. And then, we remove the weeds, means we remove anarthas like envy, pride, all of that. We do honest and brutal, honest introspection. And finally, we depend on Krishna's sunlight of mercy. So many times we ignore this envy. We think, oh, I don't have envy. But Shringi had. In fact, how the mind tricks us is crazy. You know what Shringi did? Shringi thought he's actually serving. He's saying things like, when he wants to curse Parikshit Maharaj, he first says, I'm actually doing a service right now. See, when we are envious, the first thing we realize is I'm not envious. When Daksha is about to curse Lord Shiva, the first thing Daksha says, Na agyanam na cha matsarat. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going to speak right now is not out of envy. And then he starts speaking out of envy. Isn't it crazy? So that's what Shringi is doing. Shringi is saying, Aho adharma palanam pivanam bali pujamiva swamini agamya dasanam dvarapanam shunamiva. He says the king is the protector of adharma. What a big accusation against a righteous king. Pivanam bali pujamiva. He is like a crow. Shringi is an upstart 16-year-old boy. He is calling Parikshit Maharaj, a pure devotee of Krishna, as a crow. And he says, Swamini Agamya Dasanam, he is a servant of me, of us. We are Brahmanas, he should serve us. Dwarapanam, he is a gatekeeper of our house. These are all very strong statements. And he says, how dare the king demand respect from my father? Brahmana Kshatra Bandurhi Grihapalo Niropita Sakatam Tad Grihe Dasta Sabandam Bhoktumarti is a dog. He calls the king a dog who wants to eat from the same plate as the master. These are very strong statements. And look at the best part or the worst part. He ends all of this by saying, but don't worry. The king is bad, but don't worry. Krishna has gone now to the spiritual world, so these kind of upstart kings have come. Krishne gati bhagavati shastra utpatta gaminam tad binna setu madhyaham shasmi pashyata me batam. Don't worry, I am there. He's saying, don't worry all of you, I am there. I will protect you. And what I will do? Iti langita maryadam takshaka saptame hani dangshatosma kulangaram chodito me tatadruvam. I curse the king will die in 7 days. Oh, this is crazy. But the king is humble, he accepts the curse. So envy is something which when we have, we think I don't have envy. Envy is like cancer. Cancer has 4 stages. The 4th stage, it becomes almost incurable. Unless you are in Houston. What is that? MD Anderson. It's like the greatest place for cancer treatment. But envy is like cancer. It has 4 stages. First 2 stages we can cure envy. The first stage is avagya. Avagya means just common. Everybody has this envy. Envy at first stage. Avagya means I am better than him or better than her. We don't say this, but subtly we think I am better than him. I am a better devotee than him. I am good. He is not good. Everybody has this. This is envy, but at the first stage. It is manageable, curable if you are having envy at the first stage of avagya. We can pray to Krishna, remove it. But it can get serious. From avagya, if we don't check it at this stage, see, basically when we have this envy, we have to keep saying, I'm a servant, everybody is better than me, I want to serve. If we don't consciously do this, then this goes to the further level. It goes lower. And at the second stage of envy, it becomes upeksha. Upeksha means I can't stand him. What is avagya? I am better than him, I am better than her, I am better than. But then if you keep nourishing that, then a stage will come when you look at that person and you say, I can't stand him, I don't like him. You are like trying to, when he comes from there, you will try to go from the other side. That is upeksha. I can't stand her. What is avagya?
Better.
I am better than him. Upeksha? I can't stand him. So these are the two stages of envy where it can be cured by practice, prayers, service, all that. But if you don't work on this, then the envy goes to the third stage. It is very intense. That is dvesha. I hate him. I hate her. I don't like her. This is the time when we actually pray for the other person to have a problem. But we word it nicely. We say, Thoda, if he has some difficulty, it is good for him. It's good for his spiritual life. It's not his spiritual life, it's actually my envy. And then finally, dvesha goes to the lowest stage, which is ninda. Ninda is, I will destroy him. We go on internet, social media, Facebook. We start, like I have a friend who is very influential in social media. His videos get millions of views, and from Bollywood celebrities to politicians, everybody respects him. So I see his videos sometimes. They're secular videos. So very nice videos. So the first comment, Muhammad Yunus from Karachi, Pakistan. Swamiji, great video. Lot of love from Pakistan. Second comment, Rodriguez Fernandez, something from Goa. Swamiji, I am a Christian. I love your videos of message of love of God and love for humanity. God bless you. Thank you, Swamiji. Third comment, some Abbas, something from Bangladesh. Swamiji, great service. Thank you. And next comment, Krishna Das, Chaitanya Das, something from ISKCON. You are a deviant, bogus, you will go to hell. I'm like, and we watch those comments, both of us, when we take lunch. See all this. So our own people sometimes, and we think we are doing a service, but we don't realize we are being shringi. We are doing the fourth stage of envy, ninda. Directly criticize. We don't even know what this Guru Maharaj has told him. Whoever is doing must have consulted his Guru. Somebody is doing under his Guru's instruction. Are you more important than his Guru? Why don't you shut up? If you can't appreciate, just keep quiet. But social media is the platform for most irresponsible behavior. We think we know everything. But when I saw that comment, I thought this is open ninda. Not even avagya, not even upeksha, not even dvesha. This is directly putting it on record. You are, you are actually blaspheming, you're destroying someone. So when envy comes to this stage, then we don't need enemies. We destroy ourselves. So scriptures give us two simple ways we can overcome. Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj says envy can be overcome, and then everything in Bhagavatam will make sense if we remove envy. Dharma projita kaitavatra paramo nirmatsaranam satam. Only when we are non-envious can Bhagavatam give us all joy. So for the non-enviousness, Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj says, in the Vedic scriptures, two things are recommended. Just respect everyone. Even if you can't love everyone, at least respect. That is basic human dignity. Respect everyone. Everyone. Respect. And second, it's very interesting, Vedic culture speciality, serve prasad. Give prasad all the time. Prabhupada's father also would keep, Gorman, they would keep some food for the rats in his shop, so that they are also satisfied and they don't spoil the cloth in the shop. So, giving food is part of Vedic culture. Because that serving prasad removes envy from the heart. So these are the two simple things given. So basically the whole idea is we want to work on our envy, we want to remove the weeds that are growing in the heart. So there are many things. First is hearing chanting, which is what we are doing right now. But this will work only if there is soil of gratitude, respect. But with both things, it's not sufficient. We also need association, which is like the fence that protects bhakti. And then we need to be brutally honest. We need to remove the weeds. And then we also need to finally wait for the Lord's blessing. If you do all of this, then Bhagavatam will make sense, Bhagavatam will give us shelter, and we will experience Krishna's presence in our life. So Srila Prabhupada wanted us to experience Krishna's love. He didn't want us to become simply scholars. He didn't want us to, just become pandits. One man told Prabhupada once, Swamiji, I know whole Bhagavad Gita. I can chant in 1 hour all the verses from front to end and end to back, front. I know all the verses. I can chant in 1 hour. Prabhupada very humbly said, can you live the Bhagavad Gita for 1 minute? Chanting is not difficult. Memorizing is not difficult. But to be non-envious, to glorify, to appreciate devotees, and be small but belong to Krishna, then Srimad Bhagavatam becomes a beautiful scripture. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. You can have some questions or comments now. Prabhu, you have time? Yeah. Hare Krishna. Yes.
Just imagining, Prabhu, that if Shringi was today, look at the politicians.
Shringi would use the social media all the time. He would be on Facebook. I think we are living in a very polarized society. It's time when people are very emotional, very impulsive, and they just get agitated. They are posting all the time. It's a very, very intense. People get too hyper about small issues. Isn't it like too dramatic reactions? So that's very unfortunate. Sensationalizing everything. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, very nice lecture. Thank you for that. So in the beginning of the lecture, you mentioned that if we come to the class and listen to just the word Krishna or even his pastimes, we forget about everything, we listen to Krishna and then it will take us to eternity. But again, isn't that eternity just temporary, because once the class ends, once we go back to our regular life, we are again going back into the mundane life.
Yeah. As long as we are alive, we have to chant every day, we have to connect to eternity. See, that's the problem because we are alive. Because the nature of this material world is it contaminates. Like I've heard this statement, I don't know if you have heard. Just chant once purely, you are delivered. You think, oh, but I have been chanting for 27 years, every day 16 rounds. At least in these 27 years, at least one mantra I must have chanted nicely. So why I have to chant again? Because I am alive. If I die, then I don't have to chant. I will go back. See, the point is when you are alive means you get contaminated. Because material energy is contaminating. Like in our temple, I don't know how it is in your house in America. In our temple in Mumbai, I'll give an example. We clean the temple morning. I'm chanting in the temple all at 4 o'clock. And some of our brahmacharis, we clean the temple. So much dirt is there. 4 o'clock in the morning, we clean the temple. And then Mangalarti happens. And at 9:30 a.m., that is after 5 hours, again we do cleaning. So much dirt. Then evening, 4 o'clock, again we clean. So much dirt. Why? Because that's the nature of this world. In that, I don't know if you use your copper vessels. So copper vessels, to keep them shining, we have to soak it in tamarind water. And then we remove that and we use that kasturi, something we use, and we shine it. And it sparkles and you keep it just like that. Don't do anything, just keep it on the table. After 24 hours you come and see it will have all spots. Why? Because it's the fact that it is there, material energy influences it and it becomes dirty and we have to clean it. So why you have to chant again tomorrow? Because you are alive. You are in this material world, so contamination has entered. So again you have to clean. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Now you're clean, but you're alive, so again you have to chant. So like that. But Krishna has recorded, oh, you have chanted, you are sincere. So what happens when you are dying? Many of us cannot be able to remember Krishna. Like if you are in a plane and if it's going in an accident and suddenly you may say, you may not say Krishna. But does that mean you are disqualified? No. Rupa Goswami says in Nectar of Devotion that although we are supposed to remember Krishna always and especially at the time of death, But because death and accident is so ghastly and so scary and so spontaneous, at that point of time, even if we don't remember Krishna, our expression, our wailing, our horrified expressions are within the purview of devotional service, because you have led a life of devotional service. So you are excused even if you don't say Krishna as you are dying, because you were sincere all the time. Because death is very scary. You are protecting the body and suddenly you may say something like, oh, mummy, you don't know what you say. But because you are sincerely chanting every day, struggling to stay awake, doing your bhakti, remembering Krishna, so Krishna says, okay, I accept. There is a very hope-giving verse in the Puranas. You can chant this verse after me. Yadi vatadi doshena mad bhakta mam na chasmaret aham smarami mad bhakta tepi yanti param gatim. Because of the vata dosha, because of the imbalance of air in the body during time of death, because of fear, anxiety, yadi vata adi doshena mad bhakta mam na chasmaret, my devotee may not remember me while dying. It's possible because of the imbalance of air and fear and anxiety. Yadi vata adi doshena mad bhakta mam na chasmaret. Krishna says, don't worry, aham smarami mad bhakta, I will remember my devotee. Tepi yanti param, I'll take him back home. So you don't worry. You remember Krishna when you can. Don't worry about how I'll remember Krishna when I cannot. That is Krishna's job. Don't worry about Krishna's job. Worry about your job. Your job is now. Your worry should be now. When I am healthy. So if I remember Krishna when I am healthy, when I cannot remember, Krishna will remember. So eternity principle is about the present moment, and because we are alive, we go back to this material world, the anxiety, problems, we forget. Then again we have to remember. All of you have this smartphone? Earlier we used to have this Nokia small phone. I used to charge it once a week. I don't know if anybody remembers that. Once a week I used to charge. Now I have to charge sometimes twice a day. Why? Because there are too many applications on that smartphone. So it is eating up all the battery. Similarly, earlier you could come to temple once a week. You get charged. But now your body, which is like a smartphone, has too many applications. All running same time. All job, home, debts, so many Bhakti Shastri Vibe exam, this, that. So many obligations. All obligations are applications in your... All are on, running. So you get discharged. Today morning only I was telling somebody that I feel socially fatigued sometimes. Because interaction, social, I need to charge. So I go withdraw myself, close the door. So before coming for this class, I locked myself in the room and I heard two classes. One of Chaitanya Charan Prabhu and one of my Guru Maharaj. Then I felt little battery got charged. Then I could come outside and open Bhagavatam. So now applications are too many. So we need to charge every day. So that's how our life has become. So you have chanted once nicely, Hari Bol, great, but you are alive, kya kare? So, but Krishna will take care. Hare Krishna. I see 3 hands. What do we do, Prabhu? Whatever. We'll take Mataji's question first. Yeah.
Thank you for the session today. I have a question regarding cutting the weeds.
Cutting the weeds. Yeah, can someone get me water? Drinking water. Yes. Yes, Mataji.
Where you mentioned the scripture says prasadam, distributing prasadam and respect. That cutting the weeds. So there's a thing called respect for respect. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also says it is just not that my devotees to respect. And they are like the grass. So where do we draw a line, how to find balance where we respect, but at the same time, it's not taken for granted?
Our respecting others is not taken for granted. That's what you are saying? Yeah. See, one thing I want to assure you, if you are in ISKCON, you will always get respect. See, just like, see, sometimes some devotees may disrespect.
So I'm not saying about devotee work. It's
Okay.
about non-devotee. You go to work, you go to all the places, right? So you're not always engaging in the
Correct,
devotee.
correct.
So how do you deal with that?
How to deal with the non-devotee world? Yeah. So, we have to go back to the vision. Why are we interacting with the non-devotee world? Because we have a job. We are earning money. And what are we doing with that money? What are you doing with that money? Why do we need that money?
And maintaining.
Maintaining. So, why do you want to maintain yourself?
Our perish.
Huh?
Our perish.
I will perish.
I will perish. Is that the goal of your life, not to perish? There is something deeper because of which you are earning money, you are going to work, you are maintaining yourself. What is it? Because you want to serve Krishna. You want to have a relationship with Krishna. If you have a vision like that, then you will know how to deal with the people. See, right now, if your goal in life is simply to maintain yourself, then you don't have a vision. And because of lack of vision, you will find Krishna consciousness instructions very contradictory, very confusing. But if you have a vision, I want to serve Krishna, I want to go back home, back to Krishna, then you look at your office work, your colleagues, your social life as a platform for you to connect you to your vision. I know so many grihasthas who go to work thinking that I'm doing this because I get money. And I want this money because with this money I can preach, I can take care of my family, I can have deity worship at home, I can do devotional service. So let me tolerate my boss and let me deal with him. So they learn diplomacy. They learn the art of, Srila Prabhupada said the story of the monkey and the crocodile. He said this a few times. There was a monkey who was very close friends with a crocodile. And they used to have good fun. And one day Mrs. Crocodile came to know that her husband is very good friends with the monkey. So she told him, "You are friends with the monkey? I want to eat that monkey's heart. It's very juicy and tasty." The crocodile said, "I can't do that. He's my very close friend." The Mrs. Crocodile said, "I don't care." And he was a henpecked husband. And she has started throwing tantrums at home. So with a heavy heart, he came to the bank of the river and he told his friend, "Oh monkey, my dear friend." The monkey jumped on his back as usual. They were having fun. And the crocodile said, "I want to take you home today for lunch. My wife wants you home." He said, "Okay, let's go." So they were going and the crocodile felt, "I should reveal the truth." He said, "My dear monkey, I'm very sorry. Actually, I'm taking you home because my wife, she wants to eat your heart." And the monkey was quick-witted, he was sharp. Immediately he said, "Oh, my dear friend crocodile, you should have told me this earlier. I keep my heart always in the branch of the tree. If you had told me, I would have got it with me. Let's go back, I'll get it for you." And the crocodile was dumb. So the crocodile turned back and they came on the bank of the river, and immediately the monkey jumped to the tree, picked up a rotten apple and threw it at the crocodile and said, "I'll not give you my heart. My heart is with me. Get lost." So the crocodile realized he was fooled. So Prabhupada said this story and said, we should be like that monkey. We should interact with the crocodiles of this world, but not give our heart to them. So if you have a vision, then you'll have no difficulty interacting with the society. So many devotees have a vision. They work. There are two things here. One is we have a vision of wanting to preach or wanting to serve Krishna. Our vision is not that I don't perish or I don't just maintain myself. I want to do something with my life. I want to give Krishna to others. So with that vision, we tolerate, we are diplomatic, we are kind. And the second thing is, even non-devotees are good. There are many good people there. So we learn lessons from them. I interact with many non-devotees. I keep my eyes and ears open. They may not be Hare Krishna conventional devotees, but they are good human beings. And I learn a lot of things from them. So these two things I'll try to follow. Whenever I interact with non-devotees, I see how this is helping me in my vision. And secondly, what good things can I learn from them? There is nobody so bad that you can't learn anything from them. So if these two things are in place, then you can interact with the society. It's not difficult. And there you have to live with dignity. If you don't have respect, you can't work. You can't say, you can't tell your office colleagues, I'm a worm in the stool, I'm a, trample upon me. No, that's the internal mood in Krishna consciousness. But Prabhupada said, when you are dealing with the world, you have to be like Arjuna. Arjuna was fighting a war. So you have to be smart, you have to be courteous, respectful, and also earn your money. You know? You have to, because you want that money not for sense gratification. You're not earning money for that you enjoy your senses. You want to earn money so that you can serve Krishna. That's a noble, worthy goal. We'll take one last question. Yes? Yes, Prabhu. Yes. Yeah, please.
So I'm not very well versed with Gita, and hence I do have a question. So what happens once you attain the complete salvation or liberation? What's left of the soul? And if you don't take the birth again, what about the humanity?
What about what? Humanity?
Like the humans, cease to exist. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to, I haven't been deeper inside Gita, but
your questions
what's
are
left of the soul?
See, what has happened? See, what happened today is like we're discussing Bhagavatam. So, okay, I'll come back to the question a little later.
Okay.
See, when we go to school, we study the first standard, the second, and the third. Then we come to graduation, there is post-graduation, there is PhD. So in our tradition, Chaitanya Charitamrita is like the PhD thesis. Bhagavatam, what we discussed today, is like the postgraduate. Bhagavad Gita is like the graduate. And we have this, I don't know if you have in Houston, the 6th session Bhagavad Gita course, you have this? JOST, Journey of Self-Discovery course, anybody teaches? Day 1, so you know what I'm talking about. So there are some basic concepts that we need to learn first. Like who am I, for example. All our discussions about life after death is useless first without understanding who am I. Am I this body, or do I have an existence beyond this body? So we are talking about many topics in 1 minute. It's not possible. So let's go step by step. So your questions are regarding death. What happens after death? What happens to humanity? If everybody gets salvation, then what happens? It's like saying, if everybody becomes a doctor in this world, I'll ask you a question. If everybody becomes a doctor in this world, what will happen? Who will grow food? What will you tell me? You will say, Prabhu, it's not possible. Everybody will not become doctor. If I say, if everybody becomes an engineer, what will happen? You will say, it's not possible. Similarly, if everybody gets salvation, it's not possible. There will always be people. So, first of all, everybody won't become a spiritualist. That is first. Regarding something else also you said, other than this, I don't remember what is this.
What's left of the soul, like, is it becomes supreme, like you don't feel any pain, suffering?
Okay. So what is the soul? First of all, we need to know what is the soul. So you know what is this body, right? This body.
Right.
So we say, this is my head, this is my hand, this is my stomach, this is my eyes, this is my body. We say that. That means this body and I are different. This is my body. That means I am not this body. This is the first identity. Like I said, this is my watch. Watch is different, I am different. Right? Similarly, I am different from the body. That's the first teaching of the Gita. I am not this body. So if this body at some point of time grows older, goes through changes, but the soul doesn't change. The soul is always eternal. So when we connect to that reality, then we transcend the suffering, which means we'll go through suffering, we'll go through deaths, accidents, heartbreaks and all that, but we'll remain equipoised, peaceful, and we'll continue our journey in this material. That's why you see some of the saints, some of the great sages, in all material situations, they are peaceful. Because they are connected to something that doesn't change when everything changes. I'll give you a simple example. Have you ever been to something very scenic place, like a forest or a mountain or an ocean side, where you suddenly felt peaceful? And have you ever wondered why you feel that peace when you go to a mountainside or an ocean side? Like in our temple, near our temple in Mumbai, there is a giant banyan tree, huge banyan tree. It's 500 years old. So when I sit under that tree, I feel very peaceful. And one day suddenly I felt I'm sitting next to my friend. I felt just like this banyan tree is 500 years old, I felt I am also old. I've also been around for 500 years like this banyan tree. I've been around for a long time. This body may not have been there. Do you see? So we are eternal, we don't die. And that's why when we go to an ocean side, see an ocean, forest, these have been around for a long time. So when we go there, we feel peaceful because something within us has also been around for a long time. That's why that connection happens. That's why we feel peaceful when we go to nature, when we go to traditional temples. That means there is something within us which has always been there. So spiritual life in all traditions means going beyond this body and connecting to that undying, unchanging, eternal self, permanent self. Once you're situated in that space, then you are peaceful. Then you have transcended time. Do you understand what I'm
I
saying?
understood, right? I lack knowledge of Gita, so
That's
it's
okay.
hard for me to be convinced.
Convinced of?
Like,
Okay.
get into my head. I think I have to go a little deeper.
Yeah, no, but this at least you know that.
Right.
That there are some things, mountains are there for a long time.
Yeah, I got that.
So we are like, we also don't die. See, the fact that even if you're not a Bhagavad Gita student, even Buddhist, if you go to, our, who is that famous American lady, I forget her name. She does all this interviews. Oprah Winfrey show, you'll see, she interviews many spiritualists who are not Hare Krishnas or, they talk about surrender, they talk about soul. They also accept that there is something, everything is changing, but something doesn't change. That is metaphysical reality. Physical reality means, see, this body has a beginning and an end. Anything which has a beginning and an end, anything which you can perceive with your senses, that is physical reality. Physical reality means that which has a beginning and an end, that which you can perceive with your senses. That is physical reality. Is it clear? All of you? Now, there is something called as metaphysical reality. Metaphysical reality is that reality which has no beginning and no end. Pause. Take a deep breath. You know what is physical reality? Beginning and end. And perceive with senses. But metaphysical reality is that reality which has been there forever. We are not able to enter that space from physical to metaphysical reality, spiritual journey. What is Bhagavad Gita? What is spirituality? All that is about moving from the physical space, temporary space to eternal space. That is metaphysical. That is spiritual journey. But unfortunately, many of us, till recently, all spiritual paths would talk about spiritual life meant going from physical reality to metaphysical reality. But nowadays, definition of spiritual life has changed. Because people are not even in physical reality. They are in virtual reality. So it is very difficult to convince people to go to metaphysical space from virtual space. So nowadays all spiritual talks is eat nicely, have a good family. We think this is spiritual life. This is not spiritual life. This is physical reality. Eat nicely, have good family, raise your children. This is be good, nice. But actual spiritual life is going from physical reality to metaphysical. But we can't pull people from virtual reality to metaphysical. We have to first come to physical. So first you have to be balanced in your eating, sleeping, sex life, defending, lead a normal life, and spend some time peacefully, breathe, relax. And then when you are in that space, then you can slowly touch metaphysical space. You can enter that space through breathing, connection, prayers. And then you understand that everything is changing, something is not changing. I'll end with this one example, then it will make sense to you. When I joined the temple in 1999, there was one elderly gentleman, Abhiram Prabhu. You would sit in the chair, and after Aarti, we would take the Aarti to him and he would do like this. And there were two small children, Janvi and Gautam, they would be running around, 5 and 2-year-old. And I would see them. Then I would see one old man, Sanatan Muni Prabhu, would be wobbling to temple to take darshan. 94-year-old. And I would see young brahmacharis, we were all young, we were jumping and dancing in kirtan. Older brahmacharis would be sitting back. This is a scene I'm talking about, 1998. Now everything has changed. This is 2025. Recently I was standing in temple hall, I was present. And suddenly I realized everything has changed, but something has not changed. What had changed? Abhiram Prabhu is dead and gone. Not dead, he's Vaishnava, he's gone back to spiritual world, but he's gone. Instead of him, there is Vraja Krishna Prabhu. He's sitting like that on the chair. Janvi and Gautam, Janvi is about to get married, Gautam has become an engineer. But instead of that, there is our Akila Bandhu Prabhu's nephew and niece. They are 5-year-old and 2-year-old. They are running around in the temple. Sanatan Muni Prabhu is no longer wobbling because he was 94 then. If he was alive, he would be 120 years now. But today, we have our Param Purush Prabhu, who is 92 years old. He is coming to the temple every day wobbling. And I am that older brahmachari who is sitting behind in the bench, taking care of my back, my shoulder. And the younger brahmacharis are jumping and dancing in the kirtan. Everything has changed, but something has not changed. Radha Gopinath Seva is going on. So when everything changes, something is not changing. That is the metaphysical space. That is called Brahman in the Bhagavad Gita, in the Vedic scriptures. So when we connect to that unchanging space, that's when you become spiritual. Then you are not afraid of death. That's what Krishna is telling Arjuna. You will not be afraid of death. Just understand you are deathless. Right now we are in fear, insecurity, because we know everything is going to change. Oh, I'm going to lose my loved ones. What if I don't have job? What if I don't have money? All that. But once you connect to that which doesn't change ever, then you are spiritual. So I always look for things that don't change. Keep on looking for something what is not changing. Be attentive, be awake. So when we chant Hare Krishna, if you know some devotees here, you can start chanting Japa. When you chant Japa and you are present, you enter that eternal, non-changing space. And you become peaceful. Like near our temple, we have school which is started in 1832. So I go near that school on Sunday morning, I stand there. This was there 200 years ago. Where are the people who were here at then? Where are they gone now? Everything has changed. But something is not changing. That is Brahman. So we need to enter that space.
Very difficult to be spiritual.
No.
To attain the hardcore spirituality.
No, that is because right now you are on this island and you are thinking it's very difficult. But if you get a simple boat, easy boat which takes you there, chanting is that process. See, because you have not tried this process, so you are feeling it's difficult. No, because you are in this island and you are looking at that island and you are thinking, oh, it's very difficult. But if you have an easy bridge, you will find it easy. Spirituality is all about connecting to something that doesn't change. And we can't conceive of that now because we are living in a changing world. Everything is changing. Everything is changing. Hare Krishna. We'll stop here. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.